Hi Libra, it's good to see you. My name is Chandler Christine. This is your October 2018 intuitive reading. I have shuffled my deck and cut the deck as well as set an intention for the highest and most valuable information for you this month. And happy birthday! I'm excited to get started. For those of you who don't know me, I'm also a Libra, and I really love being a Libra. I love what it means for this lifetime, the kind of lessons we could experience within it. I see real value within as far as what it does for our soul and the culmination of our lessons as we go through life. It really is a valuable life to live, and I'm hoping to give the most valuable information to you Libras in this Libra season. Today is the day before the fall equinox, and we'll be going into all of these subjects as they do relate to the energy of Libra. And let's get going to see what's in your cards. I already see some of you may be involved with an earth sign or a water sign. Oh, yeah. Wow. Really, really cool, Libra. A little bit of that Scorpio energy coming in at the end of the month as well. Oh, my goodness. Wow. What a cool reading. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this reading for you, Libra. So, yes, wow, we have a lot of information to cover. I'm excited about this. I'm going to turn the camera down so you guys can see your cards, and we'll get into it. So, Libra, let me get my bearings, and then I'm gonna put these cards so that they face you. But we see the Father in the beginning of the month. We see King of Water, Eight of Earth, and the Mother reflecting each other or balancing each other. Very symbolic of the kind of energy we're in. Then we have the Nine of Air, which I think is also symbolic of you or a perspective of you which you've had. Body and mind, really balancing here how we feel about what we believe. Very impactful when this card comes up. This is also an 11, which means somewhat of a mastery of sorts, right? A mental or emotional mastery. Then we have the Two of Water, which is setting down some firm foundations in love and relationship. I feel love will be very easy for you this month, Libra. Despite the energies of Venus being in retrograde, I feel like we are able to balance even more so as some of the obstructions or barriers have been blocking that emotional connectivity for us for some time now. And self definitely comes up in the end of the month, whereas you can see this scorpionic energy arising to then further ignite this transformation for us. I think it is beautiful. So here we are. Yes, beautiful, Libra. So I'm really excited to get going on this. Our financial peak is on the 23rd of September. That is the yearly financial peak. So as it brings our abundance through the solar activity in our charts, prosperity should be fairly easy to attain this month. I see you balancing and going even further deeply into your relationships as well. So as we see the Father and the Mother, this talks of sexual reciprocity and connection having been made between possibly two earth signs, or if you have some earth in your chart, these could be aspects of you. The Father represents kind of a Capricornian, very foundational energy, kind of a cardinal energy as well, as far as what he's willing to do to get the job done or his goals accomplished. This is a bit of a change coming into your life, at least in the beginning of the month. We see 5 relating to change, and that could be, in this sort of sense, a home and family. Maybe you get news. Maybe there's a relationship that's developing and you get word that you are actually pregnant. There is a high potential within the energies that I see of pregnancy this month. Your fertility, your extracurricular activities should be very fun. You should be able to enjoy them. The truest partners seem to be around you this month, which is always nice because within, the Libran energy, we see a tendency for naivety because you choose to really see the benefit or the good in all. But we don't see necessarily that that naivety is coming up, right? That means that there's a certain surety of yourself, a surety of your actions, a surety of the people that are surrounding you at this time. You, in fact, are feeling much like the mother, and this could have some Uranus qualities as well. But we see a bit of a surprise in the way that you initiate a certain new beginning. And this could either be, since we're in Libra season, Libra, your birthday, creating something new and foundational, maybe with the new moon in Libra on the 9th, I believe. Lots of lunar and feminine references right in this sector of the month. So when we're looking at this, this has a lot to do with sexual reciprocity, what fulfills you, what needs to be balanced in order to feel more fulfilling within your sexual relationships and your partnerships. And with the mother, we see that maybe even creating a family or some long-term decisions are on your mind. And then it's only the factor of what you wish to create. With the father, we see that all is possible here with this kind of energy. If this is, in fact, a relationship kind of reading, then we see these two are perfect in balance. There's emotions that are reciprocated. This happens to be a king of water, so he could very well be a water sign. But nonetheless, I feel that this person is either looking at a long-term future with you as well, and you guys happen to be on the same page as that, or this is in fact two aspects of yourself that are feeling very safe and secure within this relationship. Though Venus in retrograde and the new moon could have us thinking about rebalancing with our partners, I see this actually being a very harmonious month for you in general, Libra. This kind of segment here with the second half of the month is fairly interesting. Some of you could have a birthday that are specifically within the mid-month to late month. Okay, we see this starting out with a 9 and a 11. So there's a lot of circular references towards cycles, even honeybees, having this macro and micro effect on us, where if you are in fact born in the Libran sign in this lifetime, you inherently realize that you have a significant transition within that life's blueprint. This divine opening seems to be pointing to that. This is that birthplace. This is that birthright that you came in here with. Some of you may have already had significant Kundalini experiences, or chakra aligning, energy work, or just pure enlightenment come through at different phases of life. It seems as though you've been on somewhat of a drab path in that kind of area within the last year or two at least. You guys have not necessarily felt the most aligned. There have been some tumultuous emotional barriers and blockages set in place, as well as anxieties and triggers that you've had to really work through. And that's a part of your divine life blueprint as well. But this is signifying to me that a next level is in fact opening up for you. Connecting the dots is really what you've been working on maybe through the past couple years with your spiritual journey. It feels as though you've had to learn an immense amount in order to just make sense of things in the long run. But you haven't been able to make sense of things. You haven't been able to connect the dots, maybe up until this new phase is actually opened for you. So I see something very significant in your life, Libra, or for the Libra that you know if you're cross-watching, that they realize a certain transformation is taking place. And I see a lot of dragon energy, okay? This has a lot to do with the cosmos, the macrocosm, the big picture, and clarifying what that is for you. So this is, I'm hearing blueprint like over and over again. So if you guys have been kind of wondering about what the next phase is, or if you're on the right path, I feel that this is a very significant time in your life to actually have those realizations. They could be very potent and powerful for you, Libra. This is your month. So this next card here, the Two of Water, indicates to me that yes, this is in fact a water sign that you're involved with, whether it be Pisces, it could even be an Aquarian type, or Cancer, right? But nonetheless, we are headed into Scorpio season, and Scorpio is in fact a water sign. So when we see these references, we see that something of an emotional quality is having a heavy impact on you this month. And this is, in fact, to help you balance and maintain this cycle that you've so far almost completed, right? You're almost there, Libra. But it's not going to completely make sense and cement itself in your life till this exact moment with the body and mind. So with this emotional quality, you're mentally digesting it. You're mentally going back into the past and toward the future of what you're creating now. And I feel that a water sign or some watery energy around you, very sensual, nurturing, caring, and reciprocative person. This could very well be a male. He could have some Capricorn in his chart or have a very earthy way about him. You know, I'm seeing like textiles and like different kinds of fabrics and kind of a lot of woody, natural environments. So I feel like this may be pointing to a Cancer, as they oftentimes resonate with wood and natural fabrics in the home. You're maybe looking at extending a relationship with them for a long time to come by really cementing this. And maybe this is by bringing a new life into the world with them, or maybe this is by purchasing a home, or maybe this is by, you know, deepening some kind of commitment with them emotionally that you had to come to this point to fully understand, and that you are able to. And I see very well that this person is being honest. I see this person being very connected to their feminine side. They deeply care. They want to know you. And, you know, just in general, that level of emotion, that level of reciprocity is so available to you this month, Libra. There are practically no action-oriented energies this month. It's all under the surface. It's all for reevaluation. It's all for expansion on an emotional basis. It's all to, you know, expand your horizons, because from going from the one, you go to the other in this transcendent phase of your life. You go from me, myself, and I to your role in the bigger picture. I'm seeing a beehive. You know, I'm seeing all these symbolisms for the way of which you're leaving, which was the micro, and into a more macro perspective of life and of your life specifically. So this clearly is extending from now into the future. You know, you're clearly thinking of the possibilities. Prosperity seems abundant right now. And you realize that the work that you do is actually very, very valuable to you, because you have self. So self in the end, or at the end of the month, could potentially mark, and I feel very strongly that it does, the Scorpio sun, you know, energy. And this is transforming. This is where that dragon, scorpionic, snake, serpent energy really arises. It maybe takes the season of Libra to really recognize this within yourself, but I feel that this divine feminine is totally awakening this month. And that's this serpent energy, right? Helping you understand your basic instincts, helping you understand your basic needs, your sexuality, your sensuality, your need for security, your need for reciprocal love and harmony in your life. And I feel that, you know, not only does the transformation of what is exemplified here or symbolized here, but also the means in which you attain it. So there are some sacrifices being made. There are some, you know, maybe high expectations that are being taken through a process of humility, okay? You know, and I feel that this is just very true to you. It's very true to your heart. And it's not as if you're too disappointed. You know, you may have even seen these changes coming. It's almost as if you welcome the change, because the stagnancy in this area of life, or maybe even the confusion and confliction, has felt too much at times. So I want to get going on the clarity cards. For those of you who are still watching, I think it should have a strong resonance with what's already going on in your life, or the potentials, to maybe come into October with understanding and knowing and seeking out. So with the Father, I would like to get some clarity on this. So we have the Four of Swords, Nine of Swords. Okay, some of you have been experiencing some sleepless nights in Virgo season. Okay, this could very well be a Virgo energy as well, taking us into the month of October. What this change really is telling me, that with this new long-term commitment you're making, which, if we look at the Father, what does the Father resemble? It's fathering, right? It's committed. It's it's devoted to creating safety, boundaries, consistency, reliability, loyalty, their moral compasses are very sharp when you're dealing with a father archetype or father figure. So with this swords energy, it just seems like this isn't going to last. You can't bring the Father this swords energy and continue to validate its use, or to continue to validate its necessity, right? It's an non-essential quality this month. Though in Virgo, I feel like Libras have been journaling, they have been, expressing themselves through writing and communication, so much so that you might even feel a great halt on this within the month of October. And that's fine. The sleepless nights, the intuitions, the possible anxieties that you've been having over this new beginning, or what it means for you, what choices you're making, where you're pointing your sword of knowledge and vision, it's gotten you completely exhausted, it clearly is telling me. And you have to maybe just work on showing up, right? Because there's no bigger mistake or wrongdoing that you can put upon the Father than to assume his role is bigger than just showing up every day, right? Because yes, the material goods, the welfare, the security, they're all very important aspects of what the Father means. But most importantly, and most simply, and most impactfully, they just have to be there. They just have to do the due diligence. The consistency is key. So if you're not consistent, if you're waking up and you're exhausted in the morning, and your priorities are all scattered, it's really time to reprioritize. And I'm seeing that very strongly with the Father. With your writing, and I see a lot of you being very expressive within the month of October, it doesn't seem as though you're doing it in the same way. You may be making time for it, right? You may, instead of having all of this energy directed towards all sorts of things, you could just be simplifying. And that's the kind of energy that I get from the Father, indefinitely. So I want to clarify the King of Water. Who is dealing with a water sign, or potentially an Aquarius? This is definitely a relationship coming up, telling us that there could be a Leo involved. Nonetheless, with this Two of Water, we see two people who are mutual in agreement. They understand each other, they love each other, they welcome and create space for self-expression. But there is a certain passion, right, with this Leo energy that really rises up from them when they see each other, when they're around each other. So all may look very cordial now, but behind closed doors, they have a fire. They really understand each other. This is someone who has come into your life to help illuminate your life indefinitely. The Knight of Swords. So whatever kind of predicament you're in the beginning of the month, with needing to either reprioritize or catch up on some self-care, it seems, this person will undoubtedly be a very good tool for you to have. They provide some good advice. They come to you maybe with some information, with some words, some advice, and nonetheless, it does change your perspective quite a bit. It helps you understand truly maybe an emotional quality that has been lacking, that has in fact been perpetuating some of these negative habits that you've developed. So that has been quite a big dose of emotional food for us in the month of September, where Virgos often help us reorganize, reprioritize, simplify by pointing out some of the negative habits that we have, or some patterning that isn't useful anymore in our lives. How we're applying ourselves and the consistency has definitely been on the forefront of your mind. So it seems as though this partner and you, or you within your emotional realm, are just really taking your own advice. You, in fact, are becoming or are the Knight of Swords at this point. Whether it's in the relationship or within yourself, does not matter. This is an energy, and we're talking about really taking your word, taking your own advice, heeding your own, vision. And sometimes that takes consistency, determination to do it. Okay, and it could be that clear to you. With the Eight of Earth, we're looking at some sexual reciprocity. All right, Ace of Swords, another word, something that's coming to you, something that's happening within the communication potentially in this relationship. There have been quite a few words already here. Some of you may have ignited or initiated some kind of conversation with this lover of yours or with a partner. Nonetheless, these are big ideas. These are things that are coming to you with this kind of momentum that carries you into the future and what you're creating. Okay, and then there's a choice to make, right? When we have this kind of card, this is definitely the card for any Libra who just feels stuck, like they can't make a decision, or that they've made the wrong one, or if they choose any decision that they're going to be wrong. And that's not in your blueprint, Libra. I mean, let's just get down to it. You don't have to berate yourself every time you think you've made a wrong decision in life. In fact, if you think 2 or 3 years back, you've probably become a totally different person than you were before. And for the better in a way as well. I mean, you have made mistakes, but there's no need to worry about every little mistake that you're going to make in the future, okay? Everything is okay, and if it's not okay, then it's not over yet. Things always work out. So you just have to trust. You have to trust that internal knowing. You have to trust that lunar illumination that you're getting this month through your emotional realm, because that's really helping you digest a lot more than just ideas. It's helping you understand who you are and what kind of approach you have on your emotions, or have upon the direction of your will. It seems as though you could be very afraid to make any kind of decision right now because your will happens to be extra powerful right now. So that's kind of a conundrum that you're working through, but I do see it working out for you. So if you feel this way at all, just release that resistance. Know that it's in your nature, to feel this way at times, and then to just rebalance is key here, especially within your month, Libra. Okay, you're really embodying this side of you this month. So the mother is very Venusian. The Venus is definitely going retrograde. It could have significant impact on Libra specifically. So let's see what all of this is about. Okay, death. Death comes up because something is definitely coming to an end with the mother rebirthing, and with your birthdays, coming up just past this death card. It seems as though you already know what you're letting go of, and it's for the long term. It's to birth what you really do want, and maybe I feel as though this has something to do with your religious beliefs or spiritual journey, how you understand your truth, so to speak. Because when we see death upon the mother like this, it does ask that the question of what is it that you are letting go of to create? What is it that you actually do have to sacrifice in order to create something beautiful? Does this have a resonance with your daily habits, your life, as far as every day? Do you make your lunch before the next day so that you have more time for yourself in the morning? Do you pick out your outfit the day before so that you don't have to spend so much time on that? Do you have to meal prep so you stay on top of your health regimen? Do you make that call so you don't have to keep avoiding, this having this conversation with this person? Are there certain emotional aspects attached to the past that you are letting go of. Yes. Okay. So this is an emotional past that you are no longer satisfied with. It is clear that it's not going to serve you in the long run. It's clear that it's not fully understood either. Something about it is just kind of like, you have to move on from this, because this was a belief that was set in place before understanding was had. So all in all, I just feel like this is an evolution of you. Evolution, because these principles are coming up. And the principles are what you should follow. If you believe in the principles of what you're doing, then you will feel very, very good during this Venus retrograde. If you don't follow the principles in which you stand, then there are indefinite deaths or habits that need to be laid to rest. Otherwise, you can't birth the new beginning as you wish to birth it. With the 9 of air, we see it indefinitely that your perspective has made some significant connection. You're having a download at this time. You're having, certain insights that come to you on the wings of angels, clear thoughts. And it's not so much as if you're expressing them at this time. You're just holding them within your being. You're just letting whatever insights or intuition come down to you for understanding and for your own awareness, it seems. Your awareness is definitely peaked. We do have the sun in our sign, so that definitely helps a lot. So let's see what this 9 of air could mean for some of you. So the 9 of air and the 7 of wands, very interesting. It seems as though you guys realize that the position you've held for so long has not been to your benefit. That in fact, you have to take your creative passions and pursuits to an entirely different direction potentially. Because what this realization means, and the kind of confrontation it has with you, is to show you where you have been putting all of your efforts has not actually been for your highest benefit. And that's just the simplest way to put it. This could be a corporate position. This could be, trying to fit in mainstream with everyone who's doing what you like to do, or comparing. The comparison that we've received as far as intuition, knowing when to compare yourself, and the healthy dose of comparing and an unhealthy dose of comparing yourself to others. That can either work in our benefit or work against us. And we see that you see certain habits of comparison not working out in your benefit. Okay, so then the Fool. The Fool is your birthday. The Fool is the sun shining upon you, asking you what exactly you wish to create in this life. And it's a big question, right? We have a lot of food for thought given Virgo season, where we realize quite a bit of ourselves through our own analytical, thought processes. And it seems the evaluation that we've had on our spiritual journey, our spiritual aspects and the energetic aspects of our life have been really valuable, because it will then and definitely show us what we're creating. With the Fool, I think you can expect really promising, beautiful times within this winter cycle, within the fall cycle. It's funny because I'm recording this the day before the fall equinox, and, the Fool, at first I wanted to say the fall. So it's almost as if, during this Libra season, you realize that you don't need to hold the highest standard of living for yourself all the time. Sometimes it's essential to fall. Sometimes it actually is essential to begin anew in a more humble way. And that's kind of been this macro message for you, is somehow realizing your smaller significance in the world, just as a bee in any honeycomb or honey hive would. But nonetheless, it doesn't make your journey or your importance any less significant. And in fact, it might actually inflate or enhance the certain divine blueprint or divine role that you have here on Earth at this time. So it's very interesting, very powerful, very impactful, very cool. So body and mind always, strikes a really strong chord within me about what was thought to be understood before, but is truly understood now. We have the Four of Pentacles, so some of you are definitely focusing on your home and finances at this time, where where your efforts should be made in order to create a fuller foundation or a stronger foundation within yourself. And then we have the Three of Wands. So this could mean translocation. This could mean that you need to embark on a new journey. You know, we have the Fool and the Three of Wands next to each other, and they're both very sunny cards, telling me that within the month, some of you actually could be beginning anew somewhere else. You could be actually translocating during this time. You know, making money is kind of calling you. It won't feel the most abundant at this time, okay? Because what you're actually learning is to save your money. And I think that this is a new feeling for you, okay? And this is kind of like, you know, not the most luxurious Libran Venusian quality that Libras can express. However, I see it being very necessary for your ultimate long-term happiness, to learn how to save money, to learn how to make it, and not spend so frivolously. So that's been kind of a message in the last couple months. We do have Three of Wands as well. So, you know, you're talking about your passions here. You're talking about what it is you wish to create and where it may lead you. So a lot of things that are opening up for you, Libra, could be bringing you to another cycle in your life, to a totally different cycle. So with the Two of Water and the Self, let's just clarify those real quickly. King of Wands, a lot of passion here. This is potentially a Scorpio. This is potentially a Cancer. Very cardinal type, assertive energy. Okay, so the people who you may have deemed as meek or boring potentially are going to be proving you wrong this month, Libra. And I think it's actually a very refreshing way that they prove you wrong. You know, this person wants to just fully elope with you somewhere. They are in their romantic phase. They love you. They're passionate toward you, and they have no problem showing it this month. You know, they're kind of even a little sporadic or spontaneous, and it's very refreshing to you. This could also be any fire sign, but Leo specifically. And with the Hermit, we see that you are allowing them or allowing yourself to reach more commitment, deeper territories with them. We see the Hermit being resonant with the Virgo energy as well, which is very insightful. And I feel it's a reminder to what you've learned in the Virgo season that you should indefinitely carry with you. Just as any sign has such valuable lessons, Virgo really taught us the power of our thoughts, the power of our intentions. And it seems as though this is really helping you deepen this connection with them because you have a further understanding of yourself now. So then with self, I mean, it's like my words are being carried over. There's such a fluidity to this reading. We have the World. Oh my gosh. So my breath just got taken away because self and the world are like mirror images, right? They're balancing. They are showing us different perspectives on the same whole, you know, the same kind of cycle. So what we see here with self and the world are two different energies, very feminine energies, Venusian energies. Venus could be going back direct during this time of this self-initiation I'm hearing. So you may be taking your spiritual practices much more seriously. You may be putting some importance on your spiritual endeavors at this time, but with the World, we see that you know that this is not just for, you know, emotional understanding. This is also to help you in a lot of other areas of your life, which is transformative, right? Your career, your mental clarity and acuity, the kind of prosperity that you feel. It's to be taken seriously, the kind of efforts you make toward your spiritual journey this month. You know, I don't usually say that it's necessary to meditate, but for you, I feel it is to really balance and understand some of these energies that are coming into your life. This does have somewhat of a fiery Sagittarius quality as well. So if you are translocating, this fire is definitely working to alchemize your situation. There's this dragon energy as well that is helping you clarify your thoughts and having that mental fortitude, the vision that is extending for a long time now, and to to have compassion over the next cycle that is actually evolving for you, that to not take it for granted, right? Because you have worked for this new opportunity, Libra. I'm so excited to see this. I hope that you enjoy your October, Libra. I do personal readings. If you would like one, you can go down to my website in the description box below. And I will see you in November, Libra. Have a great month. Bye-bye.